We're here with sophomore Jessica Coan, now another member of this very deep pitching staff. And first of all, just what's it like being part of four pitchers in softball? I know we've talked with the other pitchers about how a lot of people associate softball with a ride the arm of one pitcher, but what are some advantages that you have knowing that you've got four very capable pitchers out there?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of advantages of knowing that. I mean, we all have different strength as pitchers, different pitches that we rely on, and so that can give other teams a lot of different looks. And even during the game, if one pitcher is pitching and the other team starts catching on to what they're throwing, you can throw a fresh arm in there, and it's like they have to start over from square one. It's a completely different look. So as a pitcher, it gives me a lot of confidence out on the mound knowing that anytime I have backup waiting to come in and help me out.
Does it also help knowing that you could arrive at the ballpark one day, see that you're not starting, but know that there's a very good chance you're going to get in this game at some point, and to always be ready and know your opponent and what batters you'll be going up against?
Yeah, I mean, you always got to be ready. There's no telling what's going to happen during a game. There's no telling what pitches are going to be working that day, how the batters are going to be hitting. So, even during the games, if I'm not pitching, you have to pay attention to the batters, their swings, what their strengths and weaknesses are, because at any point in time, you could get called on to go in and help your teammate out, and so you got to be ready.
If you get there, you've realized you're not going to be starting this particular game. Let's say it's a Sunday of a conference series, so there's only one game. What are you doing as a pitcher, whether it be in the dugout or the bullpen, knowing that you may get that call to come in or anytime, and also you may see that team later on in the year in the ACC tournament?
I mean, pretty much just trying to watch their hitters, watch their swings to see, if they have an uppercut, maybe they're not as good at hitting a certain drop ball or rise ball. So just studying their hitters, if one team is having trouble hitting curveballs, remembering that, and remembering which girls had trouble hitting certain pitches. That way, if I have to go in either later that game or even face them later on in the season, I'll have an idea of what to throw them.
You had an up and down freshman year, to say the least. Pitched a lot early on, not so much in the middle of the year, but you had a fresh arm and was rearing to go ready in the end of the season, and were almost dominant there in that NCAA regional. What did that show you when you arrived at the park that day, knowing that the team had the confidence in you to draw the first start in the first home playoff game ever in school history?
It felt really great. Like you said, I didn't pitch a lot during the middle of the season, but I think that just made me a stronger pitcher, made me stronger mentally. And so even though I wasn't throwing to batters, I was still throwing in practice, throwing scrimmages, everything like that. And it made me much more mentally tough to go in and play those regional games where there's a lot of pressure on me, and to be able to, throw like I did.
How much did that almost complete game in the ACC tournament really help you out along the way towards the regional? You came into that game down 4-0 and held Virginia Tech to just a couple singles from there on out, and saw your team score 14 unanswered runs and really storm back to win the ACC championship.
That was awesome. I think that game in my mind really kick-started my pitching from then on out, because that was the first game that I had gone in and just been able to shut a team down like that, and so that really gave me a lot of confidence going into the regionals.
But not only that, you came in a pressure situation with runners on base. 4 runs were already in, and a chance to really, Virginia Tech could have blown that game wide open before your team even had a chance to get up to bat again. So, what was it like after you got out of that first inning and really settled in, and they just a couple singles from there on out?
Definitely a lot of pressure was off. I mean, to come in with bases loaded, I don't really remember what the certain situation was, but to come in like that, it's a lot of pressure, because you can't walk them, you can't let them get a hit, and so to be able to get through that inning without them scoring any more runs, it just completely put me at ease and relaxed me, and I was able to pitch the rest of the game relaxed.
Well, Coach Perkins has talked a lot about freshman pitchers coming in almost exhausted. They throw so much in high school and then travel ball in the summer, and that the advantages of having that deep pitching staff. Now that you've been through that freshman year, you've worked through it, and pitched early in the season, pitched late in the season, what can you do to tell freshman pitchers, you've got 2 of them this year in Hope Rush and Rachel Glazebrook, just to kind of get through that freshman year?
I mean, the main thing I would say is you've got to have confidence in yourself. I had problems with that early on, and that's why I feel like I didn't pitch a lot through the middle of the year. You've got to have confidence in your pitches, confidence that you can go out there and mow them down. And, you know, I think that's a thing a lot of freshmen struggle with coming in, because you go from high school and travel ball to college, and it's it's a big transition, and so you just have to stay confident and know that you can do it.
Well, looking towards this season now, you guys are ranked in the top 15, picked in a tie with Florida State to win the ACC championship again. But as you sit back now, just 2 weeks from start of the season, tomorrow now, believe it or not, what are you guys looking forward to this season? And, you know, what are some of your goals, especially early on when you're going to be playing so many great teams?
I mean, we're definitely looking forward to playing the great teams. We're looking forward to Florida, Alabama, Georgia, any great teams out there that we can play, because playing the good teams are only going to make us that much better. And, you know, I think our goal pretty much is for the whole season, and for that, especially those teams, is just to, you know, I mean, hang in there with them, beat most of them, have a winning record. And so I think we're just going to have to, you know, work hard and keep making adjustments and improvements in practice. And I think by the time we get to February 12th, our first game, I think we'll be ready to go.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica, and good luck this season.
Thank you.